Hi folks, this is your MWIS Fleeting View in association with Petzl. Three different sorts of weather days ahead, rather grey and drab on Friday with low cloud blanketing the hills widely, brighter for Saturday with a chilly northwesterly wind and some snow flurries in places, and then the wind strengthens further to severe gales by Sunday with milder air arriving from the Atlantic. Let's have a look through those charts then. And Friday's situation is quite a stagnant weather pattern really. We've still got fairly high pressure, but pressure itself has fallen quite considerably compared to earlier in the week. That's allowed the inversion setup to break down and the atmosphere has become saturated to higher elevations. So we're all rather murky with low cloud across the hills and foggy from lower elevations upwards in some places. Bits of dampness, some drizzle around as well, some snow flurries across some parts of the west and northwest highlands, not amounting to a great deal though, maybe becoming a bit more persistent locally near to some northwestern coast where drizzly and wetter at lower elevations. The higher mountains and in fact much terrain is still frozen with the air temperature at or just below freezing point. For England and Wales, hovering just above freezing point to higher levels. Quite windy across the northern portions of Scotland, with the isobars closer together there. Elsewhere, the wind is very light. Quite a breezy day for all into Saturday, which will feel distinctly chilly with the air temperature down below freezing point across the mountains throughout the day. Our weak cold front by this point has sunk all the way southwards across Britain, and that will clear out the previous murky air from Friday and give some bright spells around, some sunshine, typically best toward the eastern side of the Highlands and the Pennines. Further west, generally more in the way of cloud, with the cloud base higher compared to Friday, but will cover many of the higher mountains towards western coasts throughout the daytime. One or two snow showers and flurries just coming in, not amounting to much, but still will feed in now and again, and spots of rain on lower slopes. Late in the day, as fronts approach from the Atlantic, something steadier in terms of rain, drizzle, and initially some snow just coming in from the west. The wind will strengthen considerably as we head onwards into Saturday night into Sunday. An uninviting day then with gale force winds extensively. A quite considerable increase of speed with height will give severe gales or storm force winds on higher mountains and some very turbulent gusty conditions even toward the east of some higher summits. A lot of low cloud across western hills, some rain fairly persistent across western Scotland, feeding in on a very mild and humid Atlantic west-southwesterly flow, and some considerable rainfall totals starting to build up in the days ahead as that pattern continues. The heaviest and the most persistent of rain is likely to be focused across the northwestern portions of the Highlands into the start of next week. That front may just wriggle slightly further north and south with time, even extending some of that rain further through Lochaber and southwards for a while on Monday. Not too much really at all reaching the eastern parts of the Highlands, spots in the wind spilling through, but fairly persistently damp in areas west of the A9 through Monday. And again, we've got powerful gale force winds and turbulent gusts across all of the mountains. England and Wales, not really seeing much rain, but a lot of cloud across western hills and some damp, drizzly conditions around here. Our front is still somewhere just toward the north of Scotland on Tuesday, trying to push back northwards again, grey and damp, and some more persistent rain across those western mountains. Best of brightness further east. The wind not quite as strong, but still the risk of gales across higher terrain. And there's a further weather system out over the Atlantic, threatening some more rain and strong winds through midweek as well. And it stays mild for most with that southwesterly air, maybe just northern Scotland hanging on to something a little bit chillier. A rapid thawing of the lying snow then with the wind, the rain and the above freezing temperatures into the early part of the new week, and that will stay mild with southwesterlies through into Wednesday. The risk of some further heavy rain, perhaps even more widely by that time as another low pressure system comes in from the Atlantic. The risk of further gales or even stormy winds over the mountains. Then just a switch to a colder northwesterly airflow by the time we reach Thursday, and that may just bring the freezing level back down below 800 metres for a time. I think the pattern further onwards toward the later part of the week and next weekend stays unsettled with westerly winds prevailing, chillier for a time, maybe then some cycles of freeze and thaw as Atlantic weather systems just run their way through. Staying unsettled though with strong winds and frequent precipitation on western mountains. Not such a great outlook, unfortunately. Saturday, the pick of the days of the next few. That is your Fleeting View in association with Petzl.